This meeting is being recorded.
We'll begin here in Chapter 1 with an introduction to organic chemistry and also a review of some topics that were covered during general chemistry. So things like electrons, bonds, and molecular properties. So in section 1.1, we're introduced to the topic of organic chemistry and compounds that are carbon containing molecules is a very loose, definition of what organic chemistry covers. What are organic compounds? So they contain carbon. So this section here, this should mainly be review. What happens during a reaction? So we know that the molecules need to meet, right? So they need to collide in order to react. And in this collision, we'll reference, collision theory here. We have bonds that are broken, and right. So on this side we have our broken bonds over here, and we have our bonds that have formed. So we have a new COH bond here, and this CI bond was broken. So why do reactions like this one occur? Well, we'll actually get to this in the first semester of organic chemistry when we talk about substitution reactions. So you won't need 2 semesters to answer that question, but we'll introduce in chapter 6, specifically when we talk about mechanisms, how electrons are moved, and these bonds that are broken and bonds that are formed, where the electrons go. So that's going to be a main focus in organic chemistry, where these electrons go and where they originate. So how can we distinguish between an organic and an inorganic compound? So again, organic compounds contain carbon atoms. There are some rare, instances, things like CO2, things with, carbonates in them, Na2, CO3, so sodium carbonate or carbon dioxide. Either of these would not specifically be organic compounds, even though they contain carbon atoms. So why are things like this important? Well, the food that we eat is generally an organic compound, barring things like, salt, like sodium chloride. But majority of foods are considered organic compounds. The clothing that we wear can be synthetic, but it's also made from things like cotton fibers. So a lot of clothes are organic compounds or organic polymers. Pharmaceuticals, wouldn't exist without organic chemistry, and a lot of, polymers, or specifically plastics, are also organic compounds. So again, we have another example here of what is considered not to be organic. So this is an inorganic compound, this ammonium cyanate. And just by heating that, we can actually create an organic compound, which previously was thought that only, biological things, animals, living things could create these organic compounds. But we found with this specific reaction down here with this ammonium cyanate that that's not the case, that organic compounds, or compounds that are classed as organic, just really need to contain carbon. They don't need to be made from living things. So we'll continue with the next section, section 1.2, in the next video.